Good evening, good morning, good night. I have learned during this pandemic, it's all virtual time. It is my distinct honor to welcome all of you, friends, families, and most importantly, class of 2020, to this virtual ceremony for Fallbrook High School. I am Dr. Narciso Iglesias, proud principal of Fallbrook High School, and it is my pleasure to welcome you today. I would like to welcome and acknowledge the members of our school board. Board President Diane Summers, Board Vice President Lita Tabish, Board Clerk Ilana Sterling, and members of the board Lee DeMeo and Sharon Kaler. I would like to thank the board for their support of Fallbrook High School. It is because of their support and dedication we are here today. I would also like to welcome and acknowledge our district administration. Fallbrook Union High School District Superintendent, Mrs. Garza Gonzalez. Director of Curriculum and Instruction, Emily Toon. Director of Special Education and Student Services, Melissa Maravich. Buenas tardes, buenos días, buenas noches. En estos momentos todo es virtual. Bienvenidos a nuestra celebración para la clase de la generación 2020 de la Escuela Preparatoria Fallbrook. Me gustaría decirles mil gracias por su apoyo de nuestros estudiantes. La Escuela Fallbrook High School es un lugar con muchas oportunidades. Una escuela donde los estudiantes siguen creciendo y estudiando y luchando. Estos estudiantes han tomado un esfuerzo grande para salir adelante. Sin su amor, apoyo y ayuda no estarían aquí presentes. Esta ceremonia es celebrar los logros y el futuro sin límites que tienen nuestros jóvenes. Gracias a ustedes, padres, familias y amigos, por estar aquí virtualmente para celebrar estos jóvenes de la generación 2020. Muchas gracias. Here to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, Andrew Hara.
Hi, please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Here to do the welcome speech is ASB's president, Andrew Hara.
Hello, all friends and family, and thank you for joining us to celebrate the amazing class of 2020. My name is Andrew Hara, and please allow me to give you a glimpse into what made our senior class the greatest to ever attend Fallbrook High School. Freshman year. It's a scary and confusing transition from middle school. Your campus is twice the size, you walk around not knowing where to go, as you're scared to ask for directions when you look at the 6'4" senior with a full-grown beard walking along. TV depicts freshmen as short, scrawny, nerdy kids scared of their own shadow. But TV couldn't be any further from the truth. Leah Martin, a freshman, entered the Festival of Cultures Assembly and performed an Irish step dance. And as I stared at him, dancing in the center of the gym, there he was, one man, fearlessly entertaining 1,000. With his seductive movements, he generated an uproar throughout the crowd equivalent to those of the Roman Colosseum. This is the first time that I realized that the class of 2020 was cut out to be something special. Sophomore year. You just started to figure things out. You're more comfortable with the campus and you walk around with your head held up high, trying to seize every opportunity to make a statement or make your way up the high school totem pole. Jared McDonald and Drew Calloway did just that. Our sophomore year, with lots of hard work, these two were asked to be a part of the varsity football team. Despite being smaller than the competition, all of their hard work paid off. Where they lacked in size, they made up for in hard work and dedication. Eventually, They took the starting positions and they dominated, quickly becoming two key pieces of the playing board. Now, the sophomores who were normally silent erupted into cheering for the two beasts that were on the field, showing everyone that they were a force to be reckoned with. Not only did Drew and Jared make the boys proud, they made Fallbrook High School proud as well. Everyone knew that the class of 2020 was cooking up to be something special, and I was excited for what was to come. Junior year, you're finally an upperclassman, and you have earned some respect around campus. Pride in your class and school skyrockets, because now is your chance to show everyone who runs this place. Juniors made up many of the varsity sports. At most sporting events, they were the ones leading the cheers. Our ASB class officers took the win in the float competition with an amazing replica of the water tower with a big 20 on it. We found our stride our junior year. We were always in the stands, screaming at the top of our lungs, muffling out the rest, bodies and faces painted with red and white. Some juniors had no idea what was going on, but they knew one thing: they loved that moment. We made our statement junior year, and for the first time in a long time, the seniors did not win Class of the Year. We did. Senior year, we mastered the art of high school, and now it was time to enjoy the fruits of our labor. Perhaps you take a free period or maybe an extra elective, go to all of the football and basketball games, joined a new sport for fun, or maybe tried out a club. Overall, it's a time to slow down and relax, because in 180 days, you're going to be a fully functioning adult. As expected, we hit the ground running, with every event being better than the last. We dominated. Our pride permeated throughout the rest of the school. We filled the seats at all pep rallies, football games, basketball games, blood drives, buses to go support our CIF winning field hockey team, and broke the all-time record for homecoming tickets sold. Our senior varsity athletes showed up big this year, taking home CIF, going to league champs, and playing into the finals. As we look back on our senior year, we should have no regrets. Our high school experience was the best it could be. Every single one of you students being honored today has proven that you are special and worthy of being a part of the greatest class to ever attend Fallbrook High School. Thank you all for showing up, working hard, and making a difference on campus. You're the reason we will leave a mark on Fallbrook High School. Thinking of you, I don't only see 400 students happy to graduate. I see 400 students ready to go out and conquer the world. Continue to thrive and realize you're destined for greatness. Don't let this pandemic define our senior year. Just let it be another one of the million reasons why it's so legendary. And as we move into the world as alumni, don't forget, sometimes life will kick you around, but sooner or later, you realize you're not just a survivor, you are a warrior, and you're stronger than anything life throws your way. Thank you.
Bienvenidos familiares y amigos. Gracias por acompañarnos hoy a celebrar la clase del 2020. Yo me llamo Stephanie Puerta y estaré traduciendo por parte de Andrew Hara. Déjenos compartir con ustedes la mejor clase en toda la historia de Fallbrook High School. El primer año de la preparatoria es un tiempo de transición espantoso y confuso. El tamaño de la escuela es doble de lo que era la secundaria. Caminas los pasillos sin saber dónde vas y al igual estás demasiado asustado para pedir direcciones. Caminas y miras lo intimidante que son los muchachos que ya están por terminar su último año con barbas y midiendo 6 pies con 4 pulgadas. En la televisión se mira como los estudiantes de primer año típicamente son tímidos, pequeños y siempre están asustados, pero en realidad no es así. Liam Martin, en su primer año, decidió bailar un baile tradicional de Irlanda en frente de toda la escuela para el Festival de Culturas. Él bailaba y entretenía a la audiencia. Los gritos y aplausos se comparaban con esos del Coliseo romano. Esta fue la primera vez que la clase del 2020 enseñó lo grandioso que iba a ser. Tu segundo año es cuando empiezas a entender las cosas mejor. Estás más cómodo con la escuela y tienes más confianza. Caminas con la cabeza en alto y tomas cualquier oportunidad que puedas para demostrar quién eres. Jared McDonald y Drew Calloway demostraron su ser. En nuestro segundo año de la prepa, ellos fueron invitados a jugar para el equipo de varsity. Aunque eran más pequeños con los que iban a competir, todo su esfuerzo se notó. Ellos empezaban cada juego y dominaban el estadio y rápidamente se hicieron jugadores esenciales. Los del segundo año, que normalmente eran callados, éramos los que gritábamos más altos. Apoyando a estos dos jugadores, Jared y Drew no solo hacían solamente a su equipo orgulloso, sino también a su escuela. Todos sabían que la clase del 2020 era algo especial y yo estaba lleno de emoción de poder ser parte de esto. El tercer año de la prepa por fin se gana un poco de respeto de los estudiantes del grado más alto que nosotros. Nuestro orgullo crecía por ser parte de la clase del 2020 y de ser parte de esta escuela. Era nuestra oportunidad de demostrarles a todos quién éramos y eso es lo que hicimos. Los estudiantes del tercer año eran quienes formábamos gran mayoría de los equipos de varsity en los deportes. Nosotros éramos quienes empezábamos los aplausos en los eventos de la escuela, nos destacamos entre la multitud, dábamos toda nuestra energía dentro de estos eventos. Hicimos saber quiénes éramos, siempre gritando a todo pulmón con las caras pintadas de rojo y blanco. Algunos en este entonces no sabían qué estaba pasando, pero sí sabían que estaban viviendo un momento inolvidable. Y por fin, el año en cual estábamos esperando más, nuestro último año de la preparatoria. Ya nos habíamos hecho profesionales de la escuela y ya era tiempo de festejar todos nuestros logros. Es cuando disfrutaríamos ir a todos los juegos de fútbol americano o a los juegos de básquetbol, unirnos a un nuevo deporte o club. Había llegado ese tiempo de poder relajarnos y de vivir lentamente y disfrutar los últimos días de la escuela, porque ya estaba llegando, o por decir, ya se llegó el tiempo en que nos vamos a unir al mundo como adulto. Empezó el año escolar y la clase del 2020 sobrepasó todas las expectativas. Cada evento era mejor que el pasado. Dominamos nuestro orgullo y se hizo cierto por toda la escuela. Llenamos los asientos en cada asamblea, juegos de fútbol, básquetbol, colecta de sangre y llenamos bases para ver el equipo de field hockey. Los jugadores del último año hicieron movimientos grandiosos con CIF Champions, League Champions y jugando en los finales. Hicimos lo mejor de nuestro año. Cuando reflejemos este año no deberíamos de tener ningún arrepentimiento. Nuestra experiencia en la prepa fue la mejor que pudo ser. Cada uno de ustedes que está siendo honrado hoy ha demostrado lo especial y digno que son de ser parte de la clase más grandiosa que existe. Gracias a todos ustedes por sus esfuerzos y dedicación a esta escuela. Ustedes son la razón que podemos dejar nuestra huella en la preparatoria de Fallbrook High School. Pensando en ustedes, veo 400 estudiantes felices de terminar la preparatoria y 400 jóvenes listos para conquistar el mundo. Continúen a sobresalir y recuerden que son destinados para cosas grandiosas. Por favor, no dejen que esta pandemia sea todo sino simplemente una cosa pequeña entre millones que definen lo asombroso que es la clase del 2020. Recuerden como alumnos dejando la prepa para entrar al mundo. A veces la vida te patea alrededor, pero tarde o temprano vas a reconocer que no solo eres sobreviviente, sino eres un guerrero. Y tú eres más fuerte que cualquier cosa que la vida te tire. Gracias.
Next on the program are our student speakers. I would like to invite our first speaker, Emiliano Corona, Fallbrook High School's valedictorian.
Friends, families, and class of 2020. My name is Emiliano Corona, and I know what you're thinking. Yes, that really is my last name, and no, the virus was not named after me. However, I can understand if there was some confusion regarding the headline, Corona takes top spot, but I digress. I would like to start off by thanking our principal, Dr. Iglesias, as well as Superintendent Garza Gonzalez for maintaining communication with students and parents during this unprecedented time, as their guidance has been truly critical. In addition, I would like to thank the cafeteria staff and other faculty members who have continued to provide meals for our community, as they are providing a crucial service, and for that we are truly grateful. I'm going to be honest, everybody, this sucks. I know we used to joke about having 20/20 vision, but I'm pretty sure none of us would have seen this coming. And I know this isn't the graduation that we had originally planned. We were supposed to be sitting on the football field, surrounded by friends and family, getting ready to walk across that stage and into a new phase of our lives. And while this may not be the ideal scenario, we shouldn't let what we don't have overshadow what we do have. And what we do have are the amazing memories we made over the past 4 years. Looking back, we sure have been through a lot. 1 fire, 3 lockdowns, multiple changes in administration, the rise and fall of the house system, and most importantly, a global pandemic. But we've also gone through some great things: pep rallies, assemblies, a solar eclipse, and most importantly, the new bathrooms underneath the clock tower, even if they took forever to finish. As a school, we've made history, as our field hockey and wrestling teams both won CIF titles. We've overcome challenges and made long-lasting friendships, especially with those in our third periods. And though we may not be able to have the graduation or prom that we had originally planned, we shouldn't let those lost experiences define us. Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor once said, "I never ever focused on the negative of things. I always look on the positive." And thus I encourage you, look towards the positive in life. Look towards the future. This pandemic will eventually end, but the world that we enter will be unlike what history has ever seen. And it's our job to make that world our own. Our goals shouldn't change because of what's going on in the world. What we have to change is the path to those goals. At this moment, I would like to take the time to thank my family, my parents, my friends, and everyone who has been with me through my high school journey. It's been quite a ride, and your love and support has truly meant the world to me. I would also like to thank the teachers at this amazing school, from the math teachers who solidified my love for math, to the history teachers who transported us to worlds of the past, and to the science teachers who confirmed that yes, the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. And to the students watching at home, I encourage you to do the same. Thank those who have shaped you, those who have impacted you, and those who have made you the person that you are today. Send them an email or give them a hug. Do something to show that you are truly grateful for their support. And to my grandparents, muchísimas gracias, abuelos, por su sacrificio, su apoyo, y su amor. Los quiero mucho. And so I leave you with this. No matter where you end up, whether that's college, the military, or the workforce, take a piece of Fallbrook with you and know that this community will be behind you every step of the way. And thus, as said in the hit Disney Channel movie High School Musical, we're all in this together. Congratulations, Fallbrook Class of 2020, and thank you so much.
I would now like to invite Fallbrook High School's salutatorian, Audrey Gilchrist.
Good evening. I'm Audrey Gilchrist, and I would like to welcome and congratulate my classmates. More importantly, I'd like to personally thank all of the parents, family, friends, instructors, teachers, staff, and coaches who've pushed, prodded, and often dragged us here. While we physically attended school most of the time, speaking personally, I would not be where I am now without the monumental support of my family, as well as the Fallbrook High School community. Thank you to those of you who haven't fast-forwarded through this portion of our digital graduation. In complete transparency, I'd rewritten, edited, and memorized a speech about the boundless possibilities that are going to come our way because we are special, unique, and have so much potential. I was bored just reading that speech, so I scrapped it. As your peer, I refuse to perpetuate the false message that we will all be swimming in wealth, success, and happiness in the years to come. The harsh truth is that outside of the chain link fences of Fallbrook High School, not everyone gets a trophy. The realities of our ever-changing world couldn't be more poignantly exemplified than by the very reason we are not having an in-person graduation. During such an uncertain season of life, I'm not sure how qualified I am to be sharing words of wisdom. I'm only 18 years old and I can't even file my taxes by myself. Thanks, Dad. However, I would like to share a short list of lessons that I have learned from people who are much, much older and much wiser than myself, and even some of you. Number 1, fail fast and fail forward. If you know something isn't working, don't dig yourself into a deeper hole. Number 2, a good plan violently executed now is better than the perfect plan executed next week. There will never be a perfect time to do that one thing, so just shoot your shot. Number 3, always pack extra snacks. You never know when there's going to be a lockdown. Number 4, bloom where you are planted, especially if it is not necessarily where you envisioned yourself landing. Number 5, happiness is transient. Choose to be joyful. Number 6, ask for help when you need it. As Brené Brown says, vulnerability is not weakness. It's our greatest measure of courage. Number 7, if you feel that something doesn't sit well with your gut, and I'm not talking about the moldy muffins from the cafeteria, speak out about it. It's never too late to do the right thing. Number 8, being cool is never more important than being kind. They weren't kidding when they said all we need to do is treat others as we want to be treated. Number 9, don't judge someone by their worst day. You never know what someone else is going through. They might have just taken one of Mr. Lenaway's tests. Number 10, don't be a silent observer of your life. Life does not happen to you. Choose to be an active participant. Number 11, integrity and trust are hard-earned and easily lost. At the end of the day, no one really cares about the awards you've won. No one remembers who you knew and what you did. But they will remember how you made them feel. Our entire lives are before us, and the only thing I can guarantee is that they'll be composed of a series of events, and our individual human experience will be defined by how we respond to them. I cannot and will not promise fantasies of wealth, success, and happiness in the years to come. However, as the captains of our fates, we can choose to lead lives rich in kindness, define our own version of success, and choose to be joyful, no matter the circumstances.
So story time. When I first started at Fallbrook High School, I was told to chase down the noise boys. I stood in front of the stands and I just watched, stared, and glared into the crowd. I would see all those little eyeballs, seniors, juniors, sophomores, and freshmen. I was given the whole legacy of the noise boys. The noise, the loudness, the running on the track and field during games. So I walked up and down that stadium, chasing down the noise boys. Every move had me shook. Boy, did you have me shook. 4 years later, I found myself chasing the 2020 noise boys and girls. This time they were seniors, but this time it was different. At football games, and we had a year we rebuilt, and our freshmen went undefeated. At the girls' field hockey games, hey, we won the San Diego CIF championship. Right on. Tremendous. At the wrestling matches, our boys won the league championship, first time in our school history. At the boys and girls soccer games, at swim meets, and finally at the girls and boys basketball CIF playoffs and semifinals. Boy, were you loud. But you know what? We did it right. We did it for the right purposes and the right reasons to come together and celebrate Fallbrook High School. Yes, it was different. We sat together. I sat with you. We joined each other. We sat at athletics, we sat at activities, and we sat during academic events. I sat in awe of our seniors, scholars at our community's Student of the Month events. Senior scholars, you left me speechless, and at times you left me breathless with all your accomplishments, all your academics, but more importantly, your perseverance in life. Man, you had me sometimes, most of the time, in tears. We sat together around campus, at first chasing down lost or stolen tables. Boy, were seniors mad. You were so mad and upset at freshmen for doing that. But it's okay. We're family. I once told our parents, we are family, and families are not perfect. God knows my family is not perfect, but I love them dearly, and I love you, and I know it's been tough. Believe me, I know it's been tough. Out of this crisis, this emergency, this pandemic, have come lessons, and I hope that you have learned these too. This is what I've learned, and I give you these 4 words: compassion, care, communication, critical thinking. This is my charge to you. Have compassion for others. Take care of yourself, the ones that love you and the ones you love back. Communicate. Communication has been critical during this time. I get it. We have lost a lot of you. I get the difficulty in this moment in time. I have personally learned to use Zoom, Google Meet, Hangout. I know you already know how to Snapchat, Instagram Live, FaceTime, Messenger, TikTok, etc. But this time, no, it'll be part of your work in your college worlds. Lastly, make sure you analyze everything. Don't believe the first thing you hear. We have gone from fear to anger. We have fluctuated as human beings. With all this information, please take heed and consider the sources. As you move forward in work, career, schooling, remember these 4 C's: compassion, care, communication, and critical thinking. We are red. There's fire and energy in our blood. We are white. We are pure and innocent. We are warriors. I love you. Please take care. Now, I would like to invite our superintendent, Mrs. Garza Gonzalez, to the podium to speak to the class of 2020.
As the superintendent, it is my honor to congratulate each member of the Fallbrook Union High School District Class of 2020. Under normal circumstances, I would be shaking your hand as you receive your diploma, but these are not normal times. As I started reflecting on your journey and on history itself, I began to think about the generations that have come before you and what you have inherited from each of them. Many of your great-grandparents were most likely traditionalist. Sometimes referred to as the greatest generation, traditionalists came to be before the United States was a superpower and before computing. This generation, made up of those born before 1944, of Depression-era parents, fought our wars and built this great country with their sweat and blood. They are known for their sacrifice, and it is the sense of sacrifice that your great-grandparents and maybe grandparents have passed on to you. You are grappling with and learning to embrace the sacrifice of losing those coming-of-age moments made up of senior year activities. And as you struggle with the loss, I am sure that you are experiencing a similar feeling as those traditionalists that came many years before you. Know that it is your sacrifice that is helping us gain the advantage over this pandemic. Your loss, your sacrifice, is saving lives. The traditionalists were followed by the baby boomers. Baby boomer is the term commonly used to refer to those born between 1944 and 1964. Born in a population and economic boom, this generation is ambitious. Their strong work ethic built an amazing economy. And this ambition is the same desire that you have to be honored. It is the dreams and aspirations that you will not allow to be truncated by these unprecedented times. Then came Generation X, my generation, and the term used for those of us born between 1965 and 1981. It is marked by the undetermined mathematical figure X. Sometimes known as the lost generation, we are the latchkey kids. Our parents, driven by ambition, were always working. We grew up between the horror of war and the hope of technology, yet we didn't fight the wars, nor did we develop the technology. The independence we had as latchkey kids came with a price, and a result of that, we prioritized family, not country, not money, but our very own kids. And just as you are experiencing loss, the adults around you are experiencing a feeling of helplessness as we cannot change the current circumstances. Gen X gave way to Generation Y, or millennials, as they are commonly known. Millennials came of age as a new millennial was beginning. The selfie generation has an optimistic vision of the future. They are independent, creative, live diverse lifestyles, and they are the first digital natives. Their creativity and optimism leads them not only to believe that things will get better, but to actively make things better. And there you are, Generation Z, the chosen ones, as Tom Hanks has referred to you, carrying with you the sacrifice of the traditionalist, the ambition, love of family, optimism, and creativity that you inherited from those that came before. You are the science generation, and everything you look at through the lens of science. Yet you're a fun group. You are fiercely humanitarian and globalist. You do not believe in traditional barriers and borders. You see beyond these. You were born as our country was experiencing one of its greatest tragedies, 9/11, and your entrance into adult life is marked by a global pandemic. So these events, as well as the generations that came before you, will undoubtedly mark you. You cannot control that. What you do have full control over is how they mark you. Let it be for the better. Choose to be kind. Choose to be invincible. Choose to be inclusive. And choose to be resilient. Choose hope. In years to come, we will know more about the gifts that you, Generation Z, and the class of 2020 have for us. I, for one, cannot wait. Congratulations.
Finally, I would like to recognize our outstanding staff here at Fallbrook High School. A big thank you to all our support staff for everything you've done for our students. And then a big, humongous thank you for our teaching staff who have dedicated their lives in service of our students. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This concludes Fallbrook High School's virtual celebration with the class of 2020. I hope you enjoyed the speakers and slide presentations. Please don't forget about us. Come back in the near future. And Warriors, don't forget, we are red, white, we are Warriors. Go Warriors!